All right. You guys get to hear some music at the beginning of this one. I don't care. We're on take two. We're on take two of this. If you missed the first game, I'm playtesting two of Havok's characters for this. And the first one was kind of a disaster. I think I got in my own head a bit with tracking stuff. There's usually why I don't play test two characters at the same time, that at least one of them isn't mine. Because then I kind of lose track of a lot of what's fucking happening. So anyways, let's go to live now. So this is actually part two of the stream. I'm not gonna post part one. Part one was bad. Not in terms of like a character standpoint, because I kind of didn't get a good gist of it, but I feel like I was losing track of things at some point, especially with Mary in her cards. So that's what I'm playing. Real quick, I'm playing Spiral, and I'm playing Typhoid Mary. The thing that will be missing from this video from the last one is a 10-minute long thing that I do at the beginning of a lot of my streams now, where I just kind of talk and chit chat with the people here. I'm not doing that this time. So I've got a precon for Mary. I've got a precon for Spiral, for aggression and justice. And yeah, as I play this game, I think I'll talk about like what went wrong in the last game. So essentially, what went wrong is I just, for some reason, I was having trouble tracking numbers. This is like I said partway through the stream. This is my punishment for daring to play during the afternoon. I really wasn't doing anything. Everything's set up. I've got I've got Radioactive Man here. But yeah, since this will be the part that I will hopefully post on YouTube, I'll go ahead and explain a little bit these characters. So this is my second game, so I have a better understanding of the characters. Hopefully, I don't fuck up like I did the first game, or at least not as much. So Spiral, aka Rita Wayward, she's going to be putting a lot of weapons out. One of the things where I kind of lost track of was how much damage I was actually doing, because I forgot that the aggression handgun, I forget what it's called off the top of my head. Let me just look. Let me just look at what it's fucking called. Hand cannon. I forgot that hand cannon was only a +2 attack and not a +3, because I barely ever played decks with hand cannon in it. So I gave myself like an extra 6 to 10 damage somewhere in there during the game, thinking it was 3. I was also the last game having just a fuck ton of trouble keeping Thread off the main scheme. So her big thing is she's going to put a lot of weapons out. She can cast spells. However, if she's not in alter ego form, her spells are kind of shit. Except for her dance ones. Her dance ones are great if you're in hero form, because they don't have additional cost to them. Is she not wearing a shirt? There is no line to indicate that she's wearing a shirt. I'm imagining she's got to be wearing something that's like maybe going underneath, or maybe it's that. Maybe it's that she's got like just a one piece on. Okay. Anyways, so this will be her big thing. Isn't she also a mutant technically? I don't know. She's mutate because she's got extra arms. Anyways, Mary, aka Typhoid Mary, Bloody Mary, and Mutant Zero. I keep wanting to say Weapon X. She's not Weapon X. Her big thing is that she's got different forms and do different things for her cards. She's also got a mechanic where she placed something called Mind Spike, which I put in this infinite bag because he didn't have them in an infinite bag. From the first game, I got very little use out of Mind Spike. I did not feel there was a lot of use in it. And yeah, I didn't get the sense that Mind Spike was worth it ever, because it doesn't stop. Its big thing is it attaches to an enemy, and then when they scheme, they also take damage equal to their scheme, their printed scheme, not how much they're actually adding to the main scheme though. So and it doesn't stop them from scheming, which is fair. It's completely fair to not do that, otherwise it'd be extremely powerful. But in terms of interacting with it, I didn't get a lot of value out of it. I also didn't get a lot of value out of her events. Now, hopefully, in a second game, I like them a little bit more. I get more out of them, but that's just where it was. Also, because I'm playing her in Justice, Typhoid Mary gets more play than any of the other two girls, any of the other two identities, I should say. And that's not. I don't think it's a great identity. It's the only one that can place mind spikes freely by attacking. But it is kind of underwhelming so far. Anyways, let's play. Let's play. Maybe I'll have better luck this time. So off the rip, excellent hand. I like this hand. Weapon Master without weapons kind of sucks, but we'll see how that goes. So off rip, I'm going to Ironheart. In the first game, I only used Ironheart as a resource, which would have angered good old Havok here, because Havok loves some Ironheart. He loves playing this poor little 16-year-old girl, getting her in a world of hurt, and then sacrificing her to the cosmos. So I have 2 for Weapon Master. I have 1 for these enhancements. 1, 2, is it 3? Yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I immediately have Retaliate. I don't have any weapons. And this one essentially readies this. That's all I was doing last game, was I was using this to put counters on weapons and using this to ready that. I mean, I'm going to flip. I'm going to attack for 2, and I'm going to put it all on him. And Ironheart's going to attack for 1, so that's the 3 damage. That's going to end her turn. To Mary. So Overwatch does nothing on Crisis cards. Might actually get the Raft out this time. Just get rid of some of these annoying fucks over here. However, Heroic Conditioning and Scimitar. I honestly think getting a Scimitar early game is amazing. And I think getting a Raft would be a good idea. I'm going to try and play her a little differently this time. See if I get better results. Flip. I'm going to remove 2 threat off of main. And then... Or do I want to... I've said main off of the side scheme. Do I want to actually turn into Mutant Zero? Because Mutant Zero would then force me immediately to go back to a different form anyways. So actually, let's, instead of removing the 2, let's go Mutant Zero and hit him for 3. And then as a forced action, I have to change to one of the other Marys, which will be Typhoid, because she actually has defense. That'll end her turn. Hey. All right, some threat removal. Hey, a weapon. But remember, I don't have Sorcerer's Supreme out in this game. Also, I have 1 damage on this girl. Which means I have to discard a card at random. I fucking hate Radioactive Man so much. All right, 1, 2 attacks over here on Spiral. Ironheart will block, which is good because that was 3 damage. Good job, Ironheart. I could have canceled the attack. However, I want him to attack me so I can retaliate against him, defeat him, and then attach him to the Raft. So he attacks me. I'm just going to take it. 1 damage. He gets retaliated for 1. Because he's defeated. The Raft. This doesn't even exhaust. Removes 1 threat from his scheme. And forever gone. Hopefully. There's not a lot of enemies in this deck that need to be attached to a raft. Attacks Typhoid Mary, who will just take it. Yeah, just take it. For 3 damage. Encounter. I am in hero form, so 2 damage, heals 2. He's at full health, so he can fuck himself. Ooh, we're getting off to a good start here. Typhoid's turn. She's got one of everything. But do I want to do that? I don't think so. Power of Justice. 4/4 Justice. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3. I don't have one of everything though. Don't even have a psionic. I can infiltrate for 2. So let's do that. Let's discard the top 2. No enemies. I cannot change to any of the other forms. I might flip down just to heal 2, so I can switch between them freely again. And actually, before I flip down, let me attack for 1, which will put a Mind Spike on him, so I'll at least have that. And then I flip down. Also get retaliated. So I'd be at 8 damage after I flipped. That will end her turn. So good news is I got the Mind Spike on him, so he can at least hurt himself. All right, Rita. Immediately this needs to get played. So this has 3 counters on it. 1 counter. I did that in the first game too. So immediately now, we do this twice. So I have +5 attack. I will then, he's got this fucking retaliate, which I can't get rid of right now, which means I'm just going to get smacked a little bit. 2 resources for Blitz. Oh, this has 6 damage in range, so I don't get retaliated on this. 6. And then I'm going to attack him for 7 damage. And that retaliates. And that will end her turn. No. Ready. 3, 4, 5. Ooh, I can clobber. I can play Side Holster for no fucking reason. I played it the first game on first turn, and I never came close to getting 5 attachments or 5 weapons out, I don't think. Oh no, in the last round of the game, I did have 4. Because I had 2 hand cannons, and I had both her swords. She gets 1 more card, because she's an alter ego. Alright, 1, 2. Schemes. So he's going to take 2 damage from the Mind Spike. Schemes for 3, though. And then attacks. Don't have my defense anymore. I'm just going to take this. I'm in a good spot. I want to be able to keep attacking. For 1 damage. Damn, that's enough to remove a counter off of this. And then card and card. What do I have here, by the way? Threat removal. Guard tough. Fucking hate armored guards so much. Surges. Jesus Christ. This is a target-rich environment if I've ever seen one. All right, immediately on her turn, let's do these. Let's get 2 on here. So I can divide all damage that I do as I choose. I think what I'm going to do is power regression to clobber for 3 damage. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do 1 to him with his toughness. And then deal 2 damage to Tiger Shark. I will then I will dance dance. Falling apart for halftime. So remove 4 threat. We'll then attack for 8 damage. So we're going to do 4 here. We're going to do 3 here. And then I have 1 damage left. So I think I'm hit him for 1. I'm going to get attacked a lot next round, which means I'm going to lose a lot of spiral counters, but that is... or sword counters, excuse me. That's just what's got to happen. It's Mary, Mary, Mary! What do we got here? This is... 2 damage to an enemy with Mind Spike. To each enemy, excuse me. Or heal 2 damage from your identity if you go Typhoid. If I go Mutant 0, I ready myself. This is psionic. I'm going to flip to Mutant 0. With Mutant 0, I'm going to attack Weapon Runner, which readies me. I'm going to attack Weapons Runner, which readies me. Because they have equal to or less than her thwart, which is 1. I will then attack the villain for 3. I get retaliated for 1. I will then Mind Spike to place a Mind Spike counter on every enemy. Mind Storm, excuse me. And then I am Mutant 0, so I ready. I will then, let's see what I got here. I will then, what has happened here? 2 damage. I will then, oh God. Spend 1 to clear the area. Also, I played a Psionic, so 2 damage. Clear the area to draw a card. Ooh. Can you only have 1 of these per enemy? It doesn't say on the card. So I'm going to attack for 3. Get retaliated for 1, which is fine. It will, however, put him in second phase already. I don't have the button there because it's the second game I played. We get a Mortal Claw. Come back to me. Okay, that's his acceleration from last game. Don't remember if it already came up. It didn't. 6 health. All right. I'm going to spend 2 to Pyrokinetic Blast to deal 5 damage, and since I'm Mutant 0, I deal 2 additional damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This retaliates against me. And then forced to switch to one of these other forms. I'm going to switch to Typhoid just for the defense. I still have Professor X. I'm probably going to discard him and get a new hand. And then on my turn. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm not. I don't have Sorcerer Supreme. All right. 1, 2, 3. Attack spiral with a base of 1 now. I'm going to take this because I still have a ton of damage out here. So 2 damage, and I lose a counter off of the swords. Guess I'm dropping them or they're becoming damaged. Attacks Typhoid Mary, who will defend because I do have an alter shift to ready myself. Flip, flip for 3 damage. So I take 1. this butthole. And there's no Masters of Evil, so hey, Melter. I'm going to defeat you and then attach you to the raft. All right, over here. I'm going to switch to Alter Ego, which heals me by 2. I could then play Angel if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm actually going to use these 3 to Helicarrier. I'm going to Helicarrier for Alter Shift, which I'm going to switch to. I'm going to switch to Mutant 0. That is a Psionic card, so I deal 2 damage to an enemy. Here to Melter. I'm going to attack Melter, which will defeat him. I'm going to attach him here, which removes 1 threat from his game. And because he has equal to or less than thwarts, I ready. And when then attack the Armored Guard, I have Piercing, so I deal 3 damage to him. And then I'm ready because he has equal to or less than thwart. I didn't use Mutant 0 nearly enough for minion clearing last time. I kind of got shafted last game. I had a really rough game. So I've already changed form this one. However, as a forced action, I do have to switch to Bloody or Typhoid. I'm tempted to attack him, but I think I'm going to go to Typhoid so I can remove 2 threat off of this. And that will end my turn. Over here, so I have the attack. I have the attack, baby. I'm tempted to play him, but I'm not going to. So let's use this to get a counter on here. I will then spend these 2, as much as it pains me to get rid of a few slot in a weapon deck, to blitz, deal 6 damage with range. I will then attack at a +6 damage, so 8. I get retaliated for 1. I'm going to flip and end her turn. Got Mutant Helicarrier. And then she draws. Ooh, time to get Ironheart back out. All right. So I should get rid of this at some point. 1, 2, 3. Attacks Bloody Mary. Is he attacking Bloody Mary? I guess so. Am I 4 turns into this game already? 4 rounds into it? Attacks Bloody Mary. +1. Do I take this? I think I'm going to take this. Oh, I don't know. I have this. I'm going to take it, yeah. For 2 damage. So I'm going to spend 1 to telepathic block or telekinetic block to prevent 3 damage. It is a psionic card, right? So this procs and deals 2 damage back to him, which means I do get pinged for 1 damage. Schemes. So he schemes for 4. And then Mind Spike procs and hits him for 2. Encounter. Ooh, so this was an interesting thing, right? She does not have a Nemesis minion. So I just grabbed Spider-Man's. Just for the fuck of it. They're both New York-based characters. I kind of figured Spider-Man's would be a little bit more appropriate because she would have interacted with Vulture. I don't know too much about a character, but I'm pretty sure she would have interacted with Vulture at some point. Each player faces random card from their hand face down here. So he takes the power of the mind. And we lose probably something extremely valuable because that's how this game works. Endurance. Well, kind of valuable, I guess. And endurance. And I don't get them back until I defeat that. Well, guess what? I don't do sporting for shit with these characters. All right, over here, we're going to Get a new hand with Nick. I don't have the resource. Breathtaker, fuck you. I'm going to heal for 3. I'm going to flip. I have to spend 2 if on a Zone of Silence. Which means I'd have to get rid of the Breathtaker, which I'm not going to. I need to look real quick because I didn't actually look. Do I have... She's an X-Force or Mystic. Do I have an actual X-Force or Mystic in this deck? No, so it's useless. Look at my allies. I have Hulk. Asgard Guardian. She's not one of those. And I have Nick Fury, who's Shield. Shield and Spy, and she's not a spy. So this precon doesn't even let you do this. That is sucky. You know what? Executive decision. Executive call. Her deck's not big enough already. I'm going to get Psylocke. Where's Psylocke? Psylocke costs 4. Psylocke is this... Oh no, she's Psylocke. She's not Mystic. And she's not X-Force. Magic has Mystic, right? Yeah, let's get Magic then. What? I teammate teleport in Magic. What the hell just happened there? Crazy, right? Not going to do the bottom part, though. So, I have all this. I have 2 threat removal off of this because I would like my cards back. Or do I do it from main? If he advances, I'm fucked. Let's remove it from there because I don't think I'm going to be able to stop. Let's move it from here because he's not actually scheming next round. Well, he's getting +4. So no matter what, this is going to go on to the next stage. Let's just do that. Magic will attack Vulture for 2. And that will end the player phase, I think. Oh man, Typhoid Mary's about to get fucked up. I do have a chump blocker for her. Oh good, I can spiritual meditation for 1 additional cost. Alright. What do I have this for? What happened? What happened to me right now? I defended. Did I just, there's no reason for me to have an encounter card right now, right? Did I just take a break from the villain phase and let him, or start taking a turn? I think that's what I did. Yeah, because I got Vulture and then I immediately started taking a player turn. And she doesn't have a hand because she had to give up some of it to that thing. Yeah. All right. Because she stopped damage and then lost a card to the side scheme. What the fuck was I doing? Heal for 3. Oh my god, I'm losing my fucking mind here. Like, this doesn't even look right, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I've done what I can. I'm losing my mind. This is what I get for playing in the afternoon. This is why I don't play in the afternoon. I'm very tempted to just stay down. I am so extremely tempted to just stay down and let these schemes go on as I normally would. Fucking hell, what am I doing with my life? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I have to flip Typhoid Mary down now too. Um so this will naturally progress. I think both characters are just gonna be face down. Don't have enough resources. I do have enough resources to like Ironheart, but not this. I'm in Typhoid Mary, so I would deal 1 damage to each enemy engaged with me, which is not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So on my turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove 2 threat off of this. I think I'm going to spend this in this to Ironheart. That really took me out of it. Whatever the hell I just did on my last round is throwing me off so much. So that's going to get 4 added to it, no matter what. So Ironheart is going to remove 1 off of this. Now I'm going to flip down. And that's just going to be it. I'm going to let this go to stage 2. I'm losing my mind playing in the afternoon, apparently. Also, I heal 2 for flipping the alter ego. Alright. I saw this cocksucking thing out here. Alright. I'll flip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next phase. Discard until I get a minion. No minion. So whiffs. Ends at 16. Starts with 0. He's going to scheme twice at 4. So activates against Rita for 3. Then 1 from Whirlwind. Activates against Mary for 2 and a tough. And get 1 more. This. I fucked up, but actually I think all the rewinding kind of put it back. Surges. Shadow of the Past surges. And so this guy. So I can't even attack the villain right now. Over here. What do I got? What I got to do is take a drink. Now she can Nick Fury, which is probably what she's gonna have to do here. Oh no, Project Psyche is a really good card to have. I can discard everything else for Nick. Let's get Nick out. And then I'm going to draw 3. Okay, cool. I have Ultra Self. I'm going to change to 0. I will attack and defeat the Armored Guard, which readies me. Attack and defeat the Armored Guard, which readies me. Nick will attack Vulture for 2. And then I'll attack and defeat the Vulture, which will ready me. I will attach Vulture to the raft and remove 1 threat from his scheme. I will then I have 2 cards I want in my hand. I have 3 cards that I want in my hand. 1, 2, to armor up. I will then have 2 chump blockers, so she's not actually going to do anything. I think I do my forced action to switch to Typhoid Mary to remove 2 threat off of this, which gets this back in her hand and this back in her hand. And then I think I will then... I like this card a lot, but I think I'd rather keep the Power of Mind for later. Use this, which will ready me. I'm going to go to Mutant 0. And then I'm going to hit roll 1 for 3. And then as a forced action, I'm going to have to go back to Typhoid Mary. Exhausted. And that's going to end her turn. Now over here. I'm an alter ego, so I can safely play Spiritual Meditation. And then I discard a card. I will discard... Nick. I have so many good cards in my hand. I have so many nice and good and fun cards. I don't want to exhaust to heal myself. I'm going to Hulk. And I want to Hulk for the body shot. It comes in with 3 modification counters. I'm going to exhaust, remove 1 to get an upgrade from my... Is it from my deck or discard pile? Deck and discard pile. Let's search the deck for an upgrade. This thing I find useless. Actually, I find really useless. This is an upgrade, but is it useful to me right now? I don't really think so. I'm gonna shuffle this. So I just play that, and then I really don't have anything I want to play with it. Where are all my hand cannons? I only have 1 in my hand. I have 2 of them in the stack now. So yeah, I'm gonna grab hand cannon. I will then spend 1, 2 for a hand cannon. Spend 2 for a hand cannon. I'll flip. I will place a counter on each hand cannon. Actually, I'll place 1 on this and a hand cannon. And then I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack for all the damage. So I'm not going to divide my damage. Even if I did divide my damage, I'm still doing overkill. Attack 4, 2, 3, or 2, 6, or 2 plus 6, excuse me, 8, 9, 12, 14, 16 with overkill. So we do 3 here. Well, let him die, not go to the raft, because it's only going to do 1 anyways. Oh my god, he's got toughness. He's got toughness. He's got fucking toughness. In that case, let's keep all this ready. I forgot about his toughness. Put the counters back on all of them. And I'm just going to attack and divide the damage. 3 and... My base attack, yeah, 3, and then the rest goes here. I did not have piercing. All these swords and none of them pierce. Oh no, her basic attack gains piercing. So actually, in that case, I would choose to hit him with the regular on it, which would retaliate against her, which is fine, and then divide the other 3. So he loses. I've already done the damage to him. I'm pretty sure. I'm confusing myself with all this attack damage. That's an end turn. I need to get rid of this still at some point. I have to say I haven't seen Sorcerer Supreme this entire game. There it is, finally. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attacks the Typhoid, who will let Ironheart jump this. which is a good thing because that's 6 damage. Attacks Spiral, who Nick Fury will block it. For 5 damage. Nicholas Fury. This and this. Fuck this fucking card. I actually want to get the swords out this game. I am in hero, so I take 2, he heals 2. First player. Distracting Dance is a good card. So is Sorcerer Scream. However, if I get rid of this, he takes 10 damage, and I can defeat him right now. So let's spend these 2 for Distracting Dance to remove 4 threat. 10 damage. He may actually be dead or 3 hit points. I don't know anymore. The math, I've lost some math at some point. I don't know why I'm worried about this. No, let's do both of these to put the counter here and here. All this. All of these. All these bad boys. For, what was it, like 16 damage? I have 8, 9, 12, 14, 16 damage. And he's defeated, so I don't even get retaliated. Oh god, I've had a day. This has been a day. At some point my brain stopped mathing, which is amazing because I'm extremely good at math. I don't like to get too heavy into things that I'm good at, but I am math good. Me math good. Me math goo. Actually, all our cards are named fucking player card. Oh, actually, no, they're not because our upgrades named something different. This, 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 this. Let's see any more of our cards. Let's pull out our resources though, just so we can look at them. This is all 15. Perfect timing. Somebody want to watch streams about the stream. Let's see. Do I have 15 here? 1. Oh my god, lag. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. Starting with Spiral. What do I think of Spiral? I think she's cool. She's strong as fuck. She really is. She looks great. Her alter ego and hero look great. They really do. I would have border broken the hell out of that, but that's me. I know that you have said before that you really didn't care about this character. Somebody asked you to, and you did, which, hey, I can relate to. As somebody who made a character based off of a single conversation I had with Havok, I made Lila Cheney. So I don't know what your intentions are of ever going back with Spiral and like updating and fixing all that shit. She's fun. She's strong. Which I don't mind. I don't think she's overpowered. I think she's close. She's kind of close to overpowered. She is very aggression coded because, my god, that damage. I can see her playing protection. Maybe, maybe leadership, but I think that'd be a little bit difficult to pull off. Certainly not justice. Even if you get the +1 for it, the justice doesn't seem to make sense on her. Her ability, I think, honestly, I feel that you could remove the you cannot control to up 2 additional weapons with the restricted upgrade thing, and give that its own upgrade, and actually give her, like, she's got an ability on this side, so you really don't need anything on this side. You could just get like a quotes, but she could actually have an ability on this side if you just had 16 cards in her deck. So I think she's suffering a little bit because of that. Normally you don't want to have the same ability on both sides when you can just make it into an upgrade. So that's my thoughts on her, herself. I like the art on. I don't like this art actually. This video game art. It's just drawing. I like the art on the other two. I just don't like this art. Um, that's probably from like Feature Fight or some mobile game or something like that. Her cards. Let's start with her upgrades. 1, 2, upgrade, upgrade, because she doesn't have an identity specific ally. Which is a shame. Nobody wants to be your friend. All right. So 5 upgrades. 6 upgrades, excuse me. Weapon Master, awesome. Awesome. Cybernetic enhancements, awesome. Awesome. These two in conjunction with each other. I don't even give a shit about readying anything else. I could technically ready Breathtaker and have another +3 damage on an attack, which is something I didn't think about until just now. I'd never thought about doing that a single time. And this is the second game I've played, and I didn't think about doing that at all. Awesome card though. Both of these are awesome, and they feel fair. Multitasker. I don't value multitasker. I don't think she will play well into a thwart deck. Her thwarting schemes, she doesn't have any. So she doesn't even have thwart by natural. She doesn't have natural thwart in her deck. So, or she does actually. She has this. Excuse me. So it only really helps this because you're never going to want a basic thwart with her. Not with the way how her damage rolls out. So this only really gives her distracting dance capabilities. It doesn't seem worth it to me. It giving her +1 thwart doesn't seem worth it. It doesn't hurt, and giving the ability to divide thwart like her attacks do doesn't seem worth it. Yeah, that's where I stand on that. I don't see the value of playing her Justice. So I don't see a lot of value in this card. I mean, it gives you the option to play Justice a bit better, but you'd be missing out on a lot of potential in this deck to play her Justice. Teleporter, I did not value this card at all. At all. I don't like it. Um, I think this would be better if it was when an enemy initiates an attack against you, you can ready yourself. But when the villain's attacking you, you're ready anyways. Um, unless he's assaulting or ganging up, or one of the lovely enemies that likes to attack a bunch. But even those are very niche enemies. She's not getting a lot out of this, I don't think. If this were just a ready, that'd be awesome. But also understand why not. Because with how much attack she has, this giving you a ready would be absolutely out of fucking insane. So she's in a rough spot where she needs to be a character for balance sake that cannot ready a lot. But then you lose out on some fun. I just don't think this card's any good. It is extremely niche. Um, I played it in the first game, like, yes, I got a readying card, and then I looked, I was like, this doesn't matter. Anyways, Spiral Swords is strong / maybe overpowered. It does have the negative of when you take damage from an attack, you remove a counter from it. But if you have both of these out, you're getting 2 back onto it every round anyways. You're probably getting 2 onto it. Because Breathtaker is the other option for putting counters on. I don't think this is overpowered. I think it's extremely strong. I don't think it's overpowered. It costs 3. It's never going to disappear. Well, probably not unless you get the card that gets rid of your upgrades and supports. Um, I think this is extremely strong. I think this is borderline overpowered, but also don't know what you'd be able to do to balance that really. It seems appropriate, but at the same time, it seems strong. It's a good card. I like it. It just seems extremely powerful. I'm attacking for 16 damage every turn. um, this her events. Let's do her support. I think this is fine. This is a fine card, especially if you get it early game to help you set up. Once you get to like mid to late game, it's useless. Then it's just kind of there. I certainly wouldn't place any counters on it for any reason whatsoever. It's just if you don't get it in your opening hand or by turn 2, it's kind of useless. Um, but it's fine. This your precon has no X factor. It has no mystic. It has no stunt women. It it is a fine card otherwise. In a leadership deck, this would be tits. Oh my god, is hold on, wait, what is X23? Is she X Force or X Factor? So I think she's X Factor, right? Because X23 is my favorite ally in this game. If you never see me play leadership deck, X23 is my favorite ally. Um X Force. Oh my god. I might have to play her again in leadership just to play X23 and spam X23 for the entire fucking game. It has its uses though, but there's not a lot that pairs with her for IP. Also, I feel like this precon did not take advantage of her spell thing at all. I don't think you'd want to because your spells cost one additional resource. Um, so she loses a lot of value in being like an actual mystic character. Um, but yeah, this with my girl X23 is amazing. Um, her events, Distracting Dance is great. I wouldn't say it's strong. Actually, you know what? A four that can ignore crisis icons and then later be divided is a pretty strong card. I wouldn't say it's overpowered. Dazzling Dance. Did I once get this in my hand to play this? I don't think I did. I think every single time I had this in my hand, something better was there. Actually this is strong. Because we usually it's what aspect cards or 2 resources essentially to apply a stun or confuse. I think is the equation. This doing it to 2 enemies for 1 resource is pretty strong. And you only have one of them, which is probably a good thing. It's strong. I wouldn't say it's overpowered. You have 2 of these. This is a good card. The first game, I'm not posting the first game. If you decide to watch the first game, I fucked this up the first time I used it because I just used it to not take any damage, and he still activated against me, and it kind of messed things up further down the line. This card right here actually kind of caused the cascade for me for getting everything in the first game. Um, yeah, it's a good card. Cancel an activation for 1. Um, Blitz is awesome. I love Blitz. This pairing with her ability to divide damage is awesome. It's probably outside of her upgrade cadre right here. It's my favorite card, which I mean makes it the 5th best card in this deck by my opinion. But um, considering how excellent the other 3 are in or other 4 are in conjunction with each other, it's saying something. But yeah, that's kind of what I feel about her. The only one that I don't like art wise is this. She's a character who reminds me a lot of Satana, where it's very hard to get consistent art across for anything because she is not really a main character of anything. From my understanding, I haven't done extensive research on Spiral or anything, but everything I've ever seen of her is she's essentially along for the ride, like Lila Cheney or Satana are. Bloody Mary, Typhoid Mary, the Mary Collective here. Um, let's see. The first game I played, I did not get really any value out of any of her cards. I had a lot of bad breaks in that first game. I probably played some cards a bit idiotically. I had a lot of hands where I had a lot of her cards at the same time, which made turns so fucking painful. Um, and then I just eventually had to kind of give up. I lost Manic Mine also. First off, obviously, she needs a Nemesis minion. She doesn't have that. You know that as well. So, I mean, saying that's just me saying it for the sake of saying it. Um, Art, another character that again is not never really a main character. So her art's I get why her art is strewn all across the universe. That being said, Mutant Zero still looks jarring as hell when I compare it to the other Bloody Marys or the other Marys. Um, but yeah. Um, Off rip. I I just Mind Spike kind of just doesn't feel good. Um, I think it's fine, but I didn't really. This was kind of just ancillary to me. It's one of those things where, like, one of those things where, like, you have a card in your deck that is kind of like an afterthought card that, oh, I'll play this card when I get around to playing it. That's kind of what I feel about the Mind Spike thing. Is this is a thing I can do, but is it really ever worth me fucking doing? Um, there are times it is, but it doesn't seem like it's often enough to really, at least with the way how it's set up right now, to be overly valuable. Um, as for identities for themselves, I love being able to flip down and immediately get health back. Um, that that just on a character period is just always great. Um, Abilities for these characters, the Mind Spike thing. I feel that if I'm in this form, I'm wanting to thwart, and I feel that if I'm in this form, I'm wanting to attack. And to have me attack in this form, it feels counterintuitive. I feel like maybe this could be to make her better. Well, goddamn, that does kind of present an interesting dilemma though. Because if you, as I was about to say, is if you make the response based off her thwart, and then after that she removes threat from a scheme, she can place a mind spike on an enemy. Um, that might make Typhoid Mary way too strong compared to Bloody Mary. If that was the case, I would never ever want to flip the Bloody Mary. I don't think. Um, Man, I didn't get. Maybe if I was playing leadership, I would have gotten more value out of Bloody Mary and her interactions with status cards. Because I was playing Justice and I really needed her to handle threat, it was only Typhoid Mary and Mutant Zero for me in both games. You have a leadership precon, which I think if I would have played that, I probably would have gone to Bloody Mary a bit more. Because Mutant Zero for clearing out enemies is amazing. Especially against this deck where there's not a single minion that has above a one scheme. Just killing them and bouncing back to ready every time is incredible feeling. I have no notes on this. This actually feels great. Bloody Mary and the Justice deck kind of doesn't matter. And then this being on her attack doesn't matter. Um, Mind Spike was kind of secondary in this. Also, you're missing a space between the star and response. Um, and so I feel about them. Mutant Zero is obviously a star. Maybe, nah, she's not too strong, I don't think. She requires a lot to ready herself. Um, I definitely put Typhoid Mary and Bloody Mary in these two games that I played. That's just kind of where I'm at with them. I do like the art, even though, like I said, this one's jarring because it's so clear and new when compared to these, which are like early knots by the look of it. This is probably 90s actually, and this is probably early knots. Her cards themselves. Let's start with the upgrades. Upgrade. Oh, that's the support. Excuse me. The upgrades first. Let's get these out of the way. Also, let me double check. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Mary's armor is great. I would include an insert that tells people what the fuck reflect means, because I don't actually know what that means. I think it means that it reduces damage by one, does one damage back. I find it difficult to find the list of keywords that hasn't been updated in like 3 years that we have. But yeah, I think this is great. I think it's a really good card. Mary's Swords, I didn't get a chance to play this a single time. I really didn't. This got discarded from my hand. The only time I had it in the first game, it got randomly discarded from my hand. And then, if I remember correctly, didn't it get randomly discarded from my hand this game too? What does this do? While you're in Mutant 0, you lose 1 attack and gain crit 1. Okay, so essentially you're staying the same. Plus 1 attack and piercing. I think this should have the word then and then colon. So when making a base attack, you get +1 attack and gain piercing, then colon, while in Bloody Mary form, you get retaliate 1. Actually, those would be, yeah, the 3 entries below interrupt should be above interrupt. My bad. Should be restricted then while in Bloody Mary form, while in Mutant 0, while in Typhoid Mary form, you get all those things, and then the interrupt would happen. Is the way how it should be, because the bottom 3 are not relying on the interrupt. Because if they were, then the retaliate wouldn't fucking matter, would it? I wish I'd have gotten a chance to play this. I didn't get it a single time. Probably would have made attacking with Typhoid Mary more valuable, because then she'd have 3 attack. But then even then, she's still the designated thwarter. I think this is a really good card. It just needs to be, the text on it needs to be fixed is all. Lethal Seductress is a very hit or miss card, because you need to have a mind. It's a really weird card for starters. You can only play it in hero form, which I don't think is necessary, because she can seduce people when she's not being a villain, like an actual hero, like quote unquote hero, because calling her a hero is a bit of a stretch sometimes. But I think this could lose hero form and be fine. It already has a prerequisite for the mind spike on them. But yeah, I think you could lose hero form on this. I think it's a fine card. It's extremely situational. That's where I'm at with her 3 upgrades. Her support, because she doesn't have an identity specific ally. I actually like this card. In the first game, you didn't really get to see it in this game. The first game, I actually got a good amount of value out of this. It does have a lot of hit or miss, but at least you get to choose one of 2 cards. But it's got some hit or miss. I had one instance in the first game where I used it, and the 2 cards I revealed were Assault and Advance, so I got fucking nothing. At least I got to get rid of one of them. Resource, Manic Mind is amazing. It's a shame there's only 1, and you can lose that if you get your obligation, as I found out in the first game. Events, 5 events. Let's start with Alter Shift. Alter Shift is amazing. That is, in my opinion, the most important card. I value this more than probably anything but these 2. And there might be some cases where I think this is more worth playing than the armor. Not the swords. I really wanted to play the swords and never got to play the swords. Also, this feels like a perfect picture to frame break, at least on top, but it'd be hard to justify frame breaking on top and not frame breaking the bottom, you know what I mean? Yeah, Alter Shift is amazing. If anything, because it gets rid of this 2 mental resources to flip to another identity. Telekinetic Block, this is just a good card. I don't think I would ever play this with the intent of spending 2 resources to block 6 damage. That's as situational as Lethal Seductress is. That's extremely situational to justify spending 2 resources to block 6 damage. You'd really have to be going against an enemy that is about to fuck you up. And then these three, the 3 ones with the deciders on it. Mind Dance. Pyrokinetic, both of these have 2, right? Yep. This has 2. This has 1. There's only 1 telekinetic block, really? Interesting. It's an interesting decision. I would almost think it would be a really. I think this could be one of those things where if you spent a mental resource on this card, shuffle it into your deck type of deal. If there's only going to be 1 of it, that way you actually get a good amount of use out of this. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell people how to run their engines though. I'll talk about balance and all that stuff, sure. But I'm not going to tell people how to run the engines of a deck. It feels rude to me at times. Like, hey, I like your idea. Let me tell you how I would improve it. It's fucked up to me. Mind Dance. We're a 2 threat from scheme. Your Bloody Mary, which I didn't get a lot of value out of that for Bloody Mary. I didn't get value out of any of the text underneath for any of this play. For the 2 games at all. Anytime I had this to play it, I didn't have a single mind spike out. I was never Bloody Mary. I didn't go Bloody Mary a single time in 2 games. And then when I was Typhoid, when I was Typhoid Mary, I never would have gotten value out of confusing. I think I confused 1 time. So I mean, 1 for 2 threat removal is fine. This could honestly probably be 3 threat removal and also still be good. But yeah, it's kind of an okay card to me. I wouldn't say it's weak or anything like that. Pyrokinetic Blast. I got a ton of use out of this. I like this card. I wouldn't say it's overpowered. I never got a chance. Like I said, I was never Bloody Mary, so I didn't never get to discard an attachment. The Typhoid Mary one, I really didn't get a chance to play because I like doing 1 damage to just minions engaged with me doesn't seem valuable when I can just change to Mutant 0 and hit them all for 3 with piercing anyways. It's very rare that I think the Typhoid Mary one would get used. The Bloody Mary one would absolutely get used, but not in a Justice deck because you're not changing a Bloody Mary and Justice. Mutant 0, great. 2 for 7 damage. It feels awesome. Actually, all the Mutant 0 ones really do feel good. Because even then, this is removing 1 threat for 2 damage. Removing 2 threat for 2 damage for 1 cost. Mindstorm. It was so rare I ever got a chance to use this, which is a shame because, well, I think I used it once in the first game. But it was too late in the game to really get anything out of it. I think it's good. I don't think it's useless or weak or anything like that. I just didn't get value out of it. The first game was so rough for everything. I lost my mind at some point. Like I forgot how to do basic math. So I got to a point where I was just kind of like just going through the motions. You spend so much time as Typhoid Mary or Mutant 0 that the Bloody Mary just didn't happen. I still think it's probably a fine card. I just didn't get anything out of it. Anyways, I am almost 3 hours into this stream. That's where I'm at with this. So this was a Cry Havok and Let Slip the Dogs of War stream. I admit that I liked Spiral a bit more than Typhoid Mary. I would play them both again. I would absolutely play them both again. I think I could play Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary's build kind of allows her to play any aspect. So if I played her again, I would definitely at least try the leadership aspect to see how that went. Spiral just seems like she needs to be aggression. Um, and since she kind of needs to be aggression, she should probably have an X-Force ally in her deck somewhere, just so that she can get use out of her teleport, not teleporter, the teammate teleport. But yeah, I like Spiral a bit more. I have bias for Mystic characters, honestly. But I felt she played a bit cleaner than Typhoid Mary does. Typhoid Mary is certainly, in my opinion, more complicated, which is probably why I didn't play her as well as she probably could have been played. Um, the first game was an absolute train wreck for me doing anything with her of value. Um, I lost that game on him scheming out. I almost lost this game on him scheming out too. I think she might need a little bit some tweaks here and there. Where exactly I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I think Spiral, she honestly needs tweaks, but whether she gets it is kind of up to the Havok because again, he doesn't really care for her. And that's understandable. He kind of made her because throw Marrow in there for X-Force. Actually, she has Marrow, doesn't she? Another thing about it? Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. Search. Yeah, she has Marrow, actually. But is it worth me just doing this for Marrow when I could grab other X-Force allies too? I mean, you are correct, Skelly. This would work with it. That is the only thing that would work with it. If she's in play and you have teammate teleport, then you're just hoping, waiting for her to die with teammate teleport in your hand. Um, Apparently she doesn't have last name. Yeah, that is what's his face behind her, Charlie something. No, not Charlie. I didn't know your favorite X Force ally is Marrow. I'm a big fan of. Actually, I'm not a really big fan of any of the X Force allies. I'm not thinking about it. None of them really mean anything to me. Um, and is the one that heals 2 from your health? Is that an X Force ally? Oh, I don't mean to do that. I'm gonna hit this. What's his face? Is he X Force? Yeah, I think he only costs 2 as well. Triage is X-Men. Okay. Um, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the 2 of them. That being said, it is 3:10. I don't know why I streamed early today, just because maybe I'll probably stream tonight. Depends on how I feel. With that being said, have a good morning / day / night, wherever you may be. Um, if you're in one of the World Cup cities, please stay safe because people go crazy around those things. I just think at this point is Los Angeles, New Jersey, and Texas, I think, are the last 3 games. So if you're in one of those cities, please be safe. Yeah. If you want to check out more custom content like Havok, who's got some really amazing content, even though I was not so keen on uh, what I got out of Mary, uh, you can check out he's got a lot of amazing content though, Havok. You can check out content like his, you can check out content like mine, Skelly, who was in the chat for me today. He's got some fun new characters. He's worked on some of the art on some of those characters, but he's got some fun new characters. Like Jitter and uh, Captain Britain, who I know are done or in a playable state. I don't know if Calico's ready yet. Yeah, you can. I'll have a link to our Discord in the comments of this or the description of this video. This has been a long stream. I'm losing everything that I've ever done for signing out here. You can check out some of my content off there too. If you want to check out a live stream, you can check me out at twitch.tv/theactualjackson. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel out. With that being said, have a good, uh, well, take it easy. Whatever. Ciao.